Early years, childhood and education. A normal day in the farm of Dowell, where Hugh Fleming seems to be busy with the fields outdoors and Grace looking after the children preparing their supper while the children are still away chasing around and playing with each other. Showing that Fleming indeed was brought up with so much of love by his family. His father's health was fragile and he falls ill and finally dies when Alexander was just turned 7 years old, making him sad. Despite the circumstances, Fleming completed his schooling and moved to London. Here I come to London. Our little Alexander just turned 13. This was the year his fellow Scot, Arthur Conan Doyle, published the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes, in which readers were horrified to learn their hero had died falling into the Ridgeback Falls. He later meets his elder brother Tom, who is a doctor by profession practicing medicine. Here, Fleming steps into the hospital in hope of meeting his elder brother, where he sees him treating his patients with empathy. Then they both greet each other and exchange smiles. Seeing his brother's modesty and determination, along with that feelings of empathy, he had greatly influenced our Alexander, inspiring him to follow into his footsteps. With the aim of being as successful as his brother Tom, in 1903, aged 22, Alexander enrolled at London's St. Mary's Hospital Medical School, graduating with distinction 3 years later as Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery. Rather than following into Tom's footsteps, Alexander was persuaded by Anne Roth Wright, an authority in immunology, to become a researcher in his bacteriology group at St. Mary's Hospital Medical School, graduating with a degree in bacteriology in the year 1908. Proving that antiseptics actually kill rather than cure. Let the strongest of ones survive. The World War I breaks out between soldiers where they are seen fighting against each other, killing people with blood splashes around the war zone. Injured soldiers are carried to the hospitals to be treated by the physicians where Alexander realizes that antiseptics can only treat superficial wounds but not the deep wounds, hence resulting in death. Wright helped out Fleming to publish these results but was shunned out by most of the army doctors as they refused to change their ways of treatment. It's the month of breezy August of 1948. Fleming decides to go for a small picnic with his buddy. Oh, it's so nice to watch them having quite a nice time, isn't it? It's the 3rd of September, 1948. When Fleming returns from his vacation, he notices something unusual with the Staphylococcus bacteria colonies. He notices that it's contaminated by a huge mass of fungus, and he identified that it belonged to Penicillium genus as it produced the bacteria-killing liquid. So finally, on March 7, 1929, he formally named the newfound antibiotic as the penicillin. Regardless of these issues, Fleming continued with some work on penicillin in the 1930s, but never made the breakthrough he needed to produce it in large, concentrated quantities. So Fleming fell into his phase of Great Depression as he had finally found the discovery of the century, but yet couldn't bring out it into the world. Scientists save the world. Introducing Chain and Howard Florey to Fleming's rescue. It's a period of early 1940s where pathologist Howard Florey Chain and biochemist Ernst Boris Chain worked on the penicillin to be produced in the mass production by the use of cornstarch at the University of Oxford, transformed penicillin into the medicine we know today. In 1945, Alexander Fleming shared the Nobel Prize in Medicine or Physiology with Florey and Chain. The award was made for the discovery of penicillin and its curative effect in various infective diseases. It's year 1955. Now, on a quite sunny day, yet a peaceful, on March 11th, Alexander Fleming died in London of a heart attack during one of his lectures, aged 73, with his ashes placed in St. Paul's Cathedral. Today, millions of people owed their lives to the antibiotic that Fleming had discovered accidentally, yet with struggles to establish it to the world that changed the lives of many in the present day world. Thank you for patiently listening to the story.